Hey guys, Hopeless Hallow here. It's time for today's episode, the final three classes that you can get for free on D&D Beyond. Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard, all spellcasters. The first one, Sorcerer, is a charisma-based spellcaster that gains spellcasting and Sorceress Origin at level 1. Sorceress Origin is the archetype of this class, and the free one we'll be discussing today is Draconic Bloodline. At first level, you choose a color out of this list. You gain the associated damage type with it. You can speak, read, and write Draconic. Also, whenever you make a charisma check when interacting with dragons, your proficiency bonus is doubled if it applies to the check. And your final ability for this level is that your hit point maximum increases by 1 again whenever you gain a new level in this class. Additionally, parts of your skin is covered by a thin sheet of dragon-like scales. When you aren't wearing armor, your AC equals 13 plus your dexterity modifier. At second level, you gain Font of Magic. You gain sorcery points equal to your sorcerer level. What are sorcery points? Well, they can be exchanged for spell slots. First level spell slot costs 2, a second one costs 3, and etc. as seen on this table. You can also turn them back into sorcery points, but this is less effective as a first level spell slot only gives you 1, and a second one only gives you 2, and the third one only gives you 3. See a pattern? The number of sorcery points you get is equal to the level of the spell. At third level, you gain meta magic. You can now use these points to affect your spells. Careful Spell makes it so that some of your allies don't get hit. Distant means you can increase the distance that your spell goes. Empowered increases damage. Extended increases duration. Heighten makes it harder for your opponent to resist the spell. Quicken means you can still have your action. Subtle means no one can see or hear you cast the spell. And Twins can turn spells that only target one creature to target 2 instead. At 4th level, you gain an ability score improvement. And at 6th level, you gain a Sorcerer's Origin feature. This is for this level, it's going to be Elemental Affinity. Whenever you cast a spell that deals damage with a type associated that you chose for your Draconic Ancestry, or your Dragon color, you can add your Charisma modifier to 1 damage roll of that spell. At the same time, you can spend 1 sorcery point to gain resistance for that type of damage for 1 hour. At 8th level, you gain ability score improvement. At 12th level, you gain ability score improvement again. And at 14th level, you gain Dragon Wings. You can sprout a pair of Dragon Wings from your back as a bonus action. But keep in mind, you can't summon them if you have armor on that doesn't accommodate for them. And clothes might be ripped if you summon them with clothes that don't accommodate for them. At 16th level, you get an ability score improvement. And at 19th level, you get your final ability score improvement. But at 18th level, level before that, you gain your Draconic Presence. You can channel the dread presence of your ancestor. You can choose Awestruck or Frightened. As an action, you spend 5 sorcery points to summon an aura of those two, aura and fear. For 1 minute, or until you lose concentration, your aura has a distance of 60 feet, and each hostile creature that starts its turn in this aura must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or be charmed for awe or frightened for fear. If they succeed, they are now immune for 24 hours. And finally, the 20th level ability is the Sorceress Restoration. You can regain 4 sorcery points whenever you finish a short rest. The Warlock. The Warlock gains their otherworldly patron at level 1, like the Sorcerer, and Pack Magic, their version of spellcasting. The free one we'll be going for on this class is the Fiend. The Fiend gives you this list of spells that you can now choose from, and the Dark One's Blessing. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your Charisma modifier plus Warlock level. Pact Magic is similar to spellcasting, but has to do with the spell slots that you are given. A normal spellcaster would gain a few first levels, and then As they get stronger, we get a second level and a third level, and so on and so on. Pact magic gives you only a few, but they're all at the same and highest strength you can get at the time. At second level, you get Eldritch Invocations, Forbidden Knowledge. You gain certain abilities like Agonizing Blast that increases damage or can cast spells or even give you cool abilities and skills proficiencies. You choose 2 at this level and can get more, as you see here on this part of the table. You get another one at 5th level, another one at 7th, another one at 9th, and so on. At 3rd level, you get Pact Boon, where you have to choose between Blade, Chain, or Familiar. Blade gives you a weapon infused with your patron. Chain gives you a cool Familiar. And Tome gives you a Book of Shadows. 4th level, you gain Ability Score Improvement. At 6th level, you gain an Otherworldly Patron feature. For the Fiend, this is Dark One's Own Luck. You can call on your patron to alter fate in your favor. When you make an ability check or saving throw, you can use this feature to add a d10 to your roll. You have to finish a short rest or longer to get this ability back. At 8th level, you get an Ability Score Improvement. At 10th level, you get an Otherworldly Patron feature. For the Fiend, this is going to be Fiendish Resilience. You can choose 1 damage type when you finish a short rest or long rest. You gain resistance to that damage type until you finish another long rest or short rest. Damage from magical silver weapons, ignore this resistance. 11th level, you gain Mystum Arcanum. Warlocks are half casters, meaning their spell slots only go up to 5th level, but this allows you to cast 6th level spells. Once per long rest, you can cast the spell that you chose from the Warlock spell list at 6th level, and then you need to take a long rest to regain it. This continues on for every spell level until you get to 9th level. At 12th level, you get Ability Score Improvement. At 13th, you gain the 7th level version. At 14th level, you get another Worldly Patron feature. For the Fiend, this one's going to be Hurl Through Hell. Whenever you hit a creature with an attack, you can use this feature to instantly transport them to the lower planes. At the end of your next turn, the target returns to the space it previously occupied, or the nearest unoccupied space. If the target's not a fiend, it takes 10d10 psychic damage as it reels from horrifying experience. At 15th level, you get the 8th level version of your Mystic Arcanum. At 16th level, you get an Ability Score Improvement. 17th level, you get the 9th level version of Mystic Arcanum. At 19th level, you get your final Ability Score Improvement. And at 20th level, you get Eldritch Master, allowing you to spend a minute to regain all of your expended Pact Magic spell slots. But you must finish a long rest before you can do this again. And finally, the Wizard, the mighty studiers with an intelligent spell casting, and a spell book to help them remember and use their spells. They can also copy spells that they've seen on spell scrolls or other spell books into their pages. At first level, they get spellcasting and Arcane Recovery. Arcane Recovery makes it so you can regain spell slots for your wizard on a short rest equal to half of your wizard level, rounded down. At second level, you gain your Arcane Tradition, or your Archetype. For this time, we'll be choosing School of Evocation. The golden time you must spend to copy an evocation spell is halved, as well as sculpt spells. You can create pockets of safety within your evocation spells, meaning you can choose a number of creatures equal to 1 plus the spell's level, and those creatures succeed the saving throw and take no damage if they would only take half from succeeding the saving throw. At 4th level, they get an Ability Score Improvement. At 6th level, they get an Arcane Tradition feature. For Evocation, this is Potent Cantrip. Starting at 6th level, your damaging cantrips that affect creatures can damage them even if they avoid the brunt. When a creature succeeds on a saving throw against your cantrip, the creature takes half the damage, if any, but suffers no additional effect. At 8th level, you get another ability score improvement. At 10th level, you get Empowered Evocation. Beginning at 10th level, you can add your Intelligence modifier to any damage roll of any Wizard Evocation spell you cast. And at 12th level, you get an ability score improvement. At 14th level, you get your final Evocation ability, Overchannel. For 14th level, you can increase the power of your simpler spells. Whenever you cast a wizard spell 5th level or lower that deals damage, you can deal maximum damage with that spell. The first time you do it, there's no additional effect. If you use this feature again before finishing a long rest, you take 2d12 necrotic damage for each level of the spell immediately after you cast it. Each time you use this feature again before finishing a long rest, the necrotic damage per level increases by 1d12. This damage ignores resistance and immunity. 16th level, you get ability score improvement. And 18th level, you gain Spell Mastery. You can choose a 1st level and 2nd level spell. You can cast them at their lowest levels without expending a spell slot, as long as you have them prepared. If you want to cast them at higher levels, use a spell slot. By spending 8 hours in study, you can switch them out for new spells that are the same level. And at 19th level, you get your final ability score improvement. And at 20th level, you finally gain your signature spells. You gain mastery over 2 powerful 3rd level spells and can cast them with little effort. You choose 2 3rd level spells. You always have these spells prepared. They don't count against the number of spells you know. And you can cast each of them once at 3rd level without expending a spell slot. When you do so, you can't do it again until you finish a short rest or longer. If you want to cast them at higher levels, expend a spell slot. And those are the final 3 free classes on D&D Beyond. Next time we'll be going over the different spell types, so you can better understand what things like evocation and certain aspects of Warlock do. Well, that's all for now. Bye.